Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bring It On. So we're back in Chili Creek because I noticed I forgot to grab some loot on the west side of the map here. On this little island.
I'll go ahead.
So I reloaded an old save to get back here, so we have to go back to the camp and rest again. But that won't take that much time. I'm hoping I could move both at the same time, but that's... I guess that'd be asking too much. We're going to park our army here at Leper's Smile. Then once we're done there, we can just push on through with our crusading forces. I should probably stop and look at all the merchants' inventories as well. I think there's a few more items I was interested in buying. I think I might just save up for that longsword instead.
I know the way.
Was it Dragon Fang? It's a +3 longsword this guy sells. I just want to know the name. Alright, where the heck is it at? Black Dragon's Fang.
Follow my lead.
Thus, I have scientifically proven that the maximum distance an arrow can travel is achieved when it is released from a bow at an angle of 45 degrees from the horizon.
What? You've done it already? Did you consider wind speed and direction? Then go and run the numbers again. I'll just nap here. Your mumbling about calculations is relaxing.
This is new. This didn't happen last time. The commander becomes host to an anomalous force. His dreams are filled with strange visions. He feels the space around him distort. His sensory organs are flooded by false images, or by distortions of light and air. Reality itself tries to expel the commander into some dark tunnel. At the other end, the grim figure awaits. His body resists this crude attempt to wrench it from reality, but the unknown force finds a tangle in the commander's soul, one made of demonic rage and destructive desire. Stranger grabs at it and pulls, like a hunter reeling in a harpoon. Troubled by the sudden intrusion, the dark and ominous force deep in the commander's soul answers with a menacing growl. The commander... I like the music playing. We have no chance of either one of these. I mean, if we roll a 20... Let's try to understand what's going on. However, the commander has never encountered anything like this before. He stares intently at the ghostly figure. The darkness conceals the stranger's appearance. Staring at the dark figure, the commander feels himself involuntarily leaning toward it. The attraction increases. He uses every effort to suppress the tangle of rage in his soul, which the mysterious power is latched onto. By force of will, the commander pushes his anger down, as deep in his soul as he can. The attraction rapidly weakens in response, as if the mysterious enemy can no longer sense the commander and concentrate its efforts on him. The apparition recedes, leaving the commander wondering whether it was reality or a nightmare.
As it should be.
Oh, it's something new, that's for sure. That did not happen last episode.
Anything new?
That is not far. I'll go ahead.
A bright future awaits us.
Alright, I don't want to use any resources fighting these guys.
Do not fear. Do not waver.
Retreat is not an option.
I should be mounted. I could use grease here. That will not be useful at Leper's Smile.
Begone, fiend!
You are nothing before me.
Fall!
Back around this way and then charge in. I can't charge from here? Oh, this... Really, the log stopped me, okay.
This spell doesn't work like that.
Still can't charge? Come on now. I don't need to waste that, he's laying down now.
Should listen to reason. Dissect your cadaver.
Alright, let's get rid of this.
Ready for anything?
Okay, so he got a little beat up there.
I know the way.
Alright, note written in neat handwriting. I come to my camp if you want to talk. I have much to share with you, a friend. But on the back of the note is a map with cross lines marking a spot. The location discovered, inconspicuous camp.
Follow my lead. As it should be.
Alright, then that's everything here. Let's vacate the premises and head to the Leper's Smile. Where much greater dangers await. Alright, so Leper's Smile. This canyon cuts through the ground like an open sore. The uneven stones of its cliffs are covered with pits and outcroppings, like the cankered skin of a leper. In the depths of the crevice, there are dark burrows leading somewhere deep into the earth. Danger and distress rest heavy upon the scales, the measure soaring on the dangerous march to Dresden. The army moves steadily along the bank of the West Selen, scarred with canyons and ravines. Suddenly, a group of scouts returns. Anevia, the leader of the group, makes two urgent signs to the soldiers: wait and quiet. As she dashes through the ranks, the commander who awaits her report. We're in trouble, the girl whispers. The road ahead is split by a canyon. To get to Dresden, we'll have to go down and then up the other side. But the canyon is swarming with foul creatures, Vescavors. A real pain in the neck. They won't shy away from our soldiers' weapons. They've already managed to gobble someone up. Looked like a caravan of refugees from Canabras that lost its way. No one has ever reported Vescavors so far from the center of the world wound. Where did they come from? Nevia bites her lip. They still haven't noticed us. But that won't hold true for long. Maybe if we retreat quietly. The commander makes a sign for her to stop. Find out what else is known about the enemy. Those nasty little critters. They can ruin your gear and drive you nuts with their buzzing. Nevia says in a rush. They got a queen, the mother of the whole swarm. She's a right horror, but if we kill her, the bulk of the swarm will scatter. We'll take care of the rest of them somehow. After hearing his scout's report, the commander prepares to convene a council to determine a plan of action. The commander and his companions convene a field council. The army cannot march around the obstacle, for there is no other road. Retreat is far too risky. Should the swarm notice the army and catch it out in the open, no one would survive. None utters the word trap, but fear hangs in the air. A swarm of omnivorous beasts just happens to be in the army's path. Someone has arranged this for their own nefarious ends. Rustling, grating, squeaking, humming. Everyone hears the voice of the swarm, though the sky before the army remains clear, for now. How long until it is darkened by the flying spawn of the abyss? An idea, a decision, straight and sharp like a soldier's sword, appears in their minds. Crusader Council grows grim. One unit must act as live bait to lure the swarm out of the canyon and clear the path to the Vescavor Queen. The commander will rush the monster, killing her quickly before the swarm decimates the army. He will get but one chance. A dark question looms. Who will lead the fateful squad and be consumed as bait? In moments of extreme stress, one often says one thing while meaning quite another. These hidden words often reveal many a curious thing. And what do we see here? Irbeth nobly states, I'm an officer, best suited for the mission. But in truth she means, I cannot burden another with my responsibility. Don Quixote, send me. Nora the historian emerges with an unexpected suggestion from behind the commander's back. This is just the sort of situation where ingenuity and knowledge of the enemy will be more useful than swords and armor. While she speaks, she thinks, I need to prove myself. The queen has yet to disclose her presence, and watches quietly from a distance. The commander thinks that he should. Look into the faces of your companions. The Hell Knight Regil steps forward. My people will fight to the last, even as the swarm tears through our armor and strips the flesh from our bones. But his motives are plain. My superiority over the Crusaders will not permit me to cower behind them. I've eaten so many bugs in my life, it's only fair to give them a chance at revenge. The mongrel land hides its fears in plain sight. I'm a dead man walking already. A life such as mine is worthless, and silently he begs for more. Sacrifice me, or give me a chance to prove myself. The ones who distract the swarm will need a healer. Socio is the only one who speaks plainly. A healer might bring a few through the Vescavors alive. The rest of the council remains silent. The silence is filled by a chorus of, there are others better suited, and the commander needs me alive. Does the commander hear these unspoken words? What will they lead him to decide? The fateful troop will be led by... So I don't want to sacrifice any of these companions, since they are all primary companions for my party. Irbeth is a huge war asset. Nura seems unique, in that she's not someone you would typically pick for this mission. So I think I'm going to pick Nura. See what happens. Stings a little bit though. As a historian, sacrificing the historian in my army feels a little dirty, but yeah, we'll see what happens. The commander and his party disappear among the rocks, preparing to slip down into the canyon, while the swarm is distracted by their bait. A tight-lipped Nevia shows the way. Behind them, the final preparations are being made. Here's what we'll do, Nura instructs the soldiers. We'll approach the precipice, stomping and banging our swords against our shields. We'll get the swarm's attention as quickly as possible. Passion burns in her eyes, her lips curve into a smile of satisfaction. The soldiers tread fearfully down the road, toward the dark edge of the canyon ahead. The rift that yawns open before them whispers, rasps, rattles in thousands upon thousands of voices. Vescavors gather below, but the skies open above them. The flying creatures might rise up and attack at any moment. The soldiers soon find the first body, the mangled corpse of a refugee from Canabris. Few straggling Vescavors wriggle inside the dead man's gaping chest. Tiny larvae and greenish shells, all shuffling legs and hinging jaws. They don't seem menacing at all. But then, the raspy noise stops for a moment. A high vibrating note pierces the air with new force. A blur of a blackish green cloud rises above the canyon. The swarm has taken the bait. The time to act has come. The leader of this fateful squad shouts that they shall... I feel like if you try to scatter, They're just gonna tear you apart from behind, so fight to the bitter end. Nora smiles with brave cheer and orders her troops to hold their position at all costs. The time has come to pay with their lives. The storm comes crashing down on their heads, consuming all of them. Nothing can protect these poor soldiers from the beasts, but the strongest adamantine. The insects feast on the flesh of the commander's warriors. The rasping, mumbling, and buzzing of the swarms paralyze the soldiers' will. Poisonous mandibles cut through armor and bone. The swarm could scour an entire city from the face of Galarian. These modest forces present no obstacle. No matter what strategy the mortals choose, it is impossible to resist the eternal the eternal hunger of the abyss. Vescavors are its embodiment, no malevolent mind or terrible monster, but a million of half-sentient creatures who know no goal but destruction. An effective weapon for those prepared to trade fertile soil for wasteland. A chance yet remains for the commander to save his people, at least some portion. What will the leader decide? This'll do. Alright, let's get some buffs out real fast.
Rely on me.
Tell me, my will is resolute. Meditate on your mistakes.
Require my
Might make
unbiased
you feel
opinion.
better.
Alright. Good start for buffs. Spots of light and shadow dance along the walls of the canyon. High above your head, a swarm gathers, dark as a rain cloud. There are so many Vescavors that they block out the sun. Luckily, you've escaped the attention of the swarm, which is focused upon the troops you're using as bait. For now, at least. With a tired gesture, Livia wipes the sweat from the dust from her forehead. There's anxiety in her eyes. Commander, the beast we've come for is on the other end of the main corridor. There's a lot of burrows, and plenty of beasts in them, but you better not delve too deep. Our people won't hold out long, or hold out long enough for us to clear the whole area. On the other hand, I saw the bodies of some poor caravanners down one of the side holes. They have some valuable stuff on them. The bugs will eat anything we don't grab. They can't tell the difference between flesh and steel. Did you manage to find out where these beasts came from? I'm not sure. There are clear signs of a ritual closer to the queen bug's lair, and they're fresh. Maybe somebody summoned the scum specially for us. The demon filth figured out that we're never going to let Canabras go. Too bad we don't have a magic specialist who could figure out what those runes mean. The words magic specialist bring Nenio out of her reverie. Huh? What? I'm a specialist. I'll get to the bottom of this. What happened? Can you tell me anything useful about the monster? I've never fought these before, so I don't know much. She's a nasty beast. She spits acid and summons her spawn from all around the area. One more thing. When I tried to get closer, I started feeling sick as a dog. I guess like a lot of demons, she knows how to get inside your head. Well, great. Huge, hungry, head-spinning, acid-spitting bugs. And I thought the Crusades were all about the pretty armor and the tasty rations, and sometimes saving beautiful maidens in white dresses from dumb demons. Well, how interesting. Sounds like a Vescavor queen. An exceedingly rare creature, I must say. I'm looking forward to an encounter to conduct the experiment. The one must know what is more dangerous. Mandible snapping shut on one's hand, or acid eating away at one's skin. Sometimes I wonder how you're still alive. Alright, let's move. Good luck. I'm right behind you, covering your back. I'll catch up when it's time to deal with the queen. Alright. So you have a choice to make here. Loot or lives.
We won't fall here. I swear
And I think
it.
the only sacrifice you make when it comes to lives is the morale of your army. Which can be repaired, but loot, you only have one chance at grabbing. So the game really makes the decision for you.
They will break against our resolve.
Alright, we're gonna charge into the Royal Guard in the back there. Everyone else is going to focus on
The
the
inheritor.
swarms.
Guide my blade. Into the fray. The light. Take you.
Did you see that?
We got a little roughed up there.
World has suffered enough.
Let's heal up Bucephalus a little bit here. What's something?
A success worthy of praise.
Chronic bug slime poisons not only to everything alive, but also to the land itself.
That is not far.
So I think the Vescavors can also confuse your allies.
Kneel before me.
The inheritor. Guide my blade.
Something over there.
That's super annoying.
I know what to do.
I'd like to have my horse back. Well, shoot.
Let me help.
I'll go ahead.
Well, Bucephalus, I'm sorry, bud. I'll leave you behind for now.
You are my favorite aide.
Oh, no, that's back the way we came.
We will win
Close
this
ranks.
war. Into the fray.
Let's try this way.
My party's just not super effective at taking these guys out.
Can't hide from me.
Commander, we're holding on for now. Remains of the caravan camp. Vescavors have chewed up not only the bodies, but also the tents and the bundles of goods. This man died clutching a small chest to his body, and protected his belongings from the Vescavors to the very end. We appreciate your sacrifice.
Follow my lead.
To battle, my friends!
This one's mine. Press the attack.
This will hurt.
You're irrelevant.
The light. Take you.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Mind over muscle. You should have listened to reason.
We're a little roughed up, but I think we'll be okay here. We're being hasted like this.
Calculated risk.
Search for the beauty with your heart, not your eyes.
Yeah, that was a little rough. We actually pulled
As it
through
should
better
be.
than I was
I
expecting.
will protect you with
Retreat
my
is not
life.
an option.
Alright, hang in there, buddy. Please and thank you.
Kneel before me.
This should do it. Let's try this way.
I will lend you my aid.
Alright, I need to stay spread out a little more. Getting that close together, the swarms just tear through my entire party. It's all about positioning.
That is not far.
Please,
Careful now.
Be careful.
Judging by the marks... Sorry. Judging by the marks that his nails left in the soft sandstone, this man was left alive when the swarm began to eat him.
I'll go ahead.
Thank you for inviting me on this journey.
We won't fall
Risking life
here.
and limb,
I swear
facing
it.
countless dangers. Perhaps I should thank you.
I will bring down the divine wrath.
Really, so long as Sela is tanking, we should be
I
fine.
know the way.
I mean, Sociel and my main character should be taking any damage, except for the swarms just walk right through my front line. Because they both have reach weapons.
Yet another obstacle.
Eternal Rose, I call upon you.
Let's go ahead and haste up here as well.
You won't survive me.
I don't think she got her haste off.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
This will hurt.
Enjoy this.
Alright, that should be fine.
Into the fray.
As it should be.
Gain short spear +2. The slime on the wall of the canyon emits a sweet smell, with a sharp hint of freshness, like the air before a storm. The insects are swarming over part of the wall.
That is not far.
Fort morale -30. I guess we haven't fought in a while, have we? I know the victories as you fight stack, like the morale bonus stacks up, but yeah, we haven't fought in a few turns, have we? Well, shoot. The bottom of the canyon is split by a narrow crevice, about one stride across at its widest. It's easy enough to jump over, or in places even step across. The obstacle doesn't seem a problem, or even particularly notable. But as you draw closer, you hear a terrible droning sound coming from the crevice. It seems to be howling, as if it's alive. Look into the crevice. You stare into the darkness of the void, trying to make out where the strange sound is coming from. Not all at once, your eyes pick out the contours of a body in the darkness. Someone small, perhaps a gnome, a halfling, or a child, rolled up in a ball at the bottom of the chasm, under a stone ledge. He's crouched down, his head to his knees. He's hugging his legs tightly. It appears to be one of the caravanners, caught by the swarm. He's crying aloud, one continuous tone, and it strengthens as it echoes through the crevice, building into something truly haunting. All howl and no wolf, it would seem. I can't see very clearly from here. I'm sure that poor lad won't last long without help. But every moment we delay, our people will suffer terribly. Shaylin saved me from such choices. Call out to the crying man. Answering your voice, the caravaner looks up. It's a young halfling. The light coming from above reveals a pale, wounded face. Vescavors still wriggle in the poor fellow's eye sockets. A moment later, the halfling drops his head again and continues to cry. He hasn't the strength to do more. We can't abandon him. He's still alive, and the living must be saved. If only I had a rope, I'd pull him out in no time. You try to help the caravaner get out. Now without effort, you manage to clamber down into the bottom of the crevice, tie the halfling with a rope, and pull him up. He doesn't resist, but he's little help either, dangling helplessly like a puppet. The Vescavors inhabiting his eye sockets seem to have eaten their fill. You can easily pull them out and crush them. The victim sits on the ground and continues to cry, and the sound begins attracting unwanted attention. You hear the humming of disturbed Vescavors above. A mass of them separates from the main swarm, flies toward you.
Battle formation.
Oh great, all sides. Heal it, I need you to intercept on this side because we can't tank.
Make every strike count.
Alright, well since we're all clustered,
Mind over muscle.
This one's mine.
the halfling you pulled from the crevice didn't move at all as you fought the onslaught of Vescavors. He's still lying on the floor crying. I'll heal you and come back for you later. Magic can heal the caravaner's wounds, but not his mind. For now, there's nothing more you can do for him. He seems scarcely aware of your help. His crying and shrieking continues. A moment later, you hear another scream from overhead. Leaning precariously over the ridge of the crevice above, one of your men falls to the bottom and dies upon the rocks. The other soldiers, now serving as bait, are up there desperately fighting for their lives. And yours.
Time's not waiting.
Alright, let's get some healing in real fast.
My will is resolute.
Are we ready to move out?
I might as well go ahead and enlarge both Socio and my main character since I'm not mounted.
I will help where I can.
The goddess protects us.
I'll go ahead.
I think I cleared out the whole canyon. It looks like it. Alright, there's the queen.
You require
Take you.
my counsel.
Smite.
Together, we
Smite.
stand.
Focus on the goal.
Hit it with one of these.
The world
Now
has
let's
suffered
see.
enough.
In trouble yet?
Oh, yes,
Gonna
what?
haste everybody up as well.
Let's prove their logic is lacking.
A calculated risk.
Press the attack.
Alright, buddy, get in there, do as much damage in as short a period of time as possible, and hope for the best.
This will leave a bruise.
Oh, he got distracted. That's okay. Queen is almost dead. Perfect. Last stand came in very useful there.
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Unleashing her last shriek, Storm Queen slumps to the ground. Immediately, as if by magic, the distant sounds of battle begin to subside. Several small beasts sit on their mother's body, sinking their mandibles into it. The canyon drowns in the waves of scent, a sweet, soporific with a hint of... Sorry, a sweet soporific with a hint of bite. Like they crackle in the air before a storm. Ugh, I can't breathe. I need some fresh air. Get me out of this disgusting hole. I've been taught to see beauty in the most unexpected places, but this creature is simply disgusting, no matter how you look at it. Land looks askance at the queen's carcass. The mongrels in the caves under Canabras could eat that, I guess. Nevia approaches the Swarm Queen's body. Her face clearly expresses a desire to kick the dead beast, but she refrains. Just a brainless bug, and so many of our people died because of her. Just yesterday, I was sitting by the fire with some of the people the swarm devoured. Suddenly, Nevia stops. Her nostrils flare, and her eyes scan the floor and the walls of the canyon. She squats, pokes at some lumps of slimy substance, lifts them up to look more closely, smells them and cringes. You smell it too, right? A suspiciously familiar stink. Aha! Nevia rubs a ball of greenish slime in her hand. I bet my life that your gear had this nasty stench when you were entering the canyon. I saw the queen bug spraying it around to summon her spawn to her. By the way, do you know that smells are extremely effective at attracting attention, not only in the insect world? For example, Tavern Keeper Canabras can, for 10 minutes, purposefully and doggedly search for a rotten fish that turns out to be in the pocket of his apron. Let's see if we can find the source of that smell among my equipment. You and Nevia search through your things, and quickly find the source of the smell. Thin handkerchief. Looks like it's been soaked in something like the Swarm Queen's slime. I'll be darned. When the Queen was spraying the sweet-smelling goop around, the swarm flew to it like flies to jam. The chewed-up bodies of the caravanners smelled like this too. I checked. Commander, I think some rat planted that handkerchief on you, to ensure that the Vescavors would find you. So, there's a traitor in the Mendev camp. Nothing new there. It looks like I have enemies in Mendev, and someone has decided to get rid of me. True, nobody likes upstarts. You knew what Irbeth's allies hissed behind her back when she was appointed head of the Eagle Watch. Nevia spits. Anyway, we need to keep our eyes open. The handkerchief could have been planted here by magic, but take it from a professional paranoiac. I think we've got a rat in our camp. In Canabras, we squashed the cultists time and time again, but they were like maggots in a dead hog. Some could have infiltrated our forces too. We have to keep our eyes open and our guard up. It's time we got back to our people. I say we destroy the queen's body. I've heard the little bugs who eat their flesh to their mother to be reborn as a swarm queens themselves. That's kind of the last thing we need, right? Yeah, find a Nevia. Get rid of the beast's body. Great. Cleaning up after a fight is just what I like. We'll start here. Little by little, we'll clean up the entire world wound. Hey, she survived. Nevia, Commander, what a relief. You're alive. I saw the swarm begin to thin, ran to you immediately. She pauses to catch her breath. There are many dead and wounded. To be honest, I feared the whole army was about to scatter. We've been in the world wound for such a short time, and already we've run into so much trouble. What matters is that it's over. Yeah, let us mourn all who died. Their sacrifice will not be in vain. Oh dear. Nora shivers. What are we going to do now? Since you're here, please take a look around. Found some painted runes and the traces of something that seemed like a ritual. We need to figure out what this is. Tiger's helping out. Easily done. Nora leans over the magic symbols painted on the stone. I'm no mage, unfortunately, but I'm in the habit of thoroughly documenting all descriptions of rituals and symbols from magic books, especially demonic ones. Someone very recently opened a portal to the abyss here, and summoned someone. It's not difficult to figure out who they summoned. She's lying dead right there. I can guess who carried out the ritual. Handwriting is unique, even when it comes to runes. I examined the Grey Garrison after your success, documenting everything I found for Kringolfrey. I'm sure that the hand that drew the rune to circles was the same in both instances. It's the work of the same spellcaster. It looks like the spellcaster's afraid of us. He dares not fight us openly. Of course he's afraid. Nothing he can set on us will ever be scarier than the swarm. He's just played his last hand and lost. Well, since we finished off the swarm, and we know someone is giving us trouble, I suggest we get out of here. I'm done with bugs. You and me both. Huge runic circle has been drawn on the rock, probably with blood.
I know the way.
Alright, so we have a few unique items we picked up along the way. Silky Veil. This robe grants its wearer a +1 dodge bonus to armor class, and a +2 enhancement bonus to attack and damage rolls with unarmed attacks. Only a monk can wear it. Naturalist Armor. This +2 studded leather armor grants its wearer a +2 insight bonus to armor class against the attacks of plants and vermins. Ring of Stitches. This ring grants its wearer immunity to bleed. Hunter's Assurance. Whenever the wielder of this +3 bleed composite shortbow confirms a critical hit with it, the enemy suffers a stacking -1 penalty to armor class until the end of combat. That's just a King's Short Spear +2. Oh, neat. Alright, we're a little roughed up.
Search for the beauty with your heart, not your eyes.
We still have more to do here. Alright, I'm going to call the episode here, and the next one will descend down here before we actually leave the area. This is separate from the exit itself. There's a lot of things you need to do down here for different mythic paths, if you want to, I believe. I think some of the stuff is associated with it, but... Either way, going to call it here for now. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.